Why do we pray to the gods? Is it for mercy? Is it for protection in our darkest hours? We are taught to believe that the creators of the universe are watching over us, that they care about our pain. But what if they don't? What if the gods are just selfish, arrogant beings who look down at our suffering with absolute indifference? Today, we are exploring the darkest, most terrifying crusade in comic book history. The story of a simple, broken mortal who dared to look up at the heavens and vow to slaughter every single god in existence. This isn't a story about a villain who wanted to rule the cosmos. This is the tragedy of a father whose unanswered prayers turned into a weapon of mass annihilation. Prepare yourself, because we are about to learn why the most dangerous entity in the universe isn't a god, but a mortal with nothing left to lose. To understand the wrath of the God Butcher, we must first look at his suffering. He was born on a nameless, barren planet. A world of endless sand, scorching heat, and starvation. His people were deeply religious. Every day, despite their empty stomachs and dry throats, they knelt in the dust, praying to gods who never answered. They prayed for rain. They prayed for food. They prayed to save their dying children. One by one, the mortal watched his family fade away. His pregnant wife was buried under an avalanche of stone. His children, starved to death, their small bodies turning to dust in his arms. When he wept, and asked his tribe why the gods allowed this, they told him to have faith. They told him the gods had a plan. But when his last surviving son died, something inside him snapped. He realized the ultimate, crushing truth. The gods were a lie. And for speaking this heresy, his own people stoned him, and cast him out, to die in the desert. As he lay in the sand, waiting for death, the heavens finally opened. But it wasn't rain that fell. It was two gods. Two colossal, divine beings, crashed from the sky, locked in mortal combat. One was clad in shining golden armor. The other was a creature of absolute, pitch-black darkness. The mortal crawled toward them, his eyes wide with shock. The gods actually existed. But they weren't watching over his dying children. They were too busy, fighting their own pointless wars. And then, the golden god, defeated and bleeding, looked at the mortal. The divine creator, the being he had prayed to his entire life, reached out a hand, and whispered, "Help me." In that single second, the mortal's grief turned into a burning, toxic rage. Help you? Where were you when my children were screaming? Where were you when my wife was crushed by stone? At that moment, the dark weapon of the fallen god, a sword made of primordial shadow, felt the mortal's anger. It bound itself to his soul. He picked up the blade, and with a single, vicious strike, he cut the golden god's throat. He watched a deity choke on his own blood. And he realized, gods can bleed. Gods can die. With the dark blade in his hands, the mortal became the God Butcher. He didn't just want revenge on the gods of his world. He wanted global, cosmic purification. He believed that the universe was a better place, without masters. That gods were parasites, feeding on the faith of mortals, while giving nothing in return. For thousands of years, he traveled from planet to planet, system to system. He hunted pantheons. He slaughtered gods of war, gods of love, and gods of creation. He left entire planets empty of their divine rulers. The universe began to whisper his name in absolute terror. Gods, who had lived for eons, were locking themselves in their golden palaces, shivering in the dark. Because they knew that out there in the void, a mortal was coming to put them on trial. He didn't use magic. He didn't use cosmic power. He used their own fear and his relentless, unbreakable will. But as the centuries passed, the tragedy of his crusade began to reveal itself. To destroy all gods, he had to build a weapon of apocalyptic scale. A bomb that would detonate across time itself, erasing every deity from the past, the present, and the future. But to build this weapon, he needed labor. So, he captured thousands of gods and enslaved them. He forced them to dig through the core of planets, whipping them, starving them, and mocking their weakness. Do you see the tragic irony? The man who hated gods, because they were cruel and indifferent, had become the most cruel and indifferent god of all. He ruled over an empire of slaves. He sat on a throne of bone and shadow, demanding obedience. He had become the very monster he swore to destroy. The climax of his war was not decided by a sword fight. It was decided by a philosophical truth. During his final battle, the god Butcher faced the god of thunder. A hero who actually fought for the mortals. But even in the face of defeat, the mortal whispered a truth that shattered the hero's mind. "You are different," the mortal said. "But look at the rest of them. They are vain. They are selfish. The universe is better off without you." And deep down, the hero agreed. He knew the mortal was right. The realization that the gods had failed their creations made the hero unworthy of his own power. In the end, the god Butcher was defeated. But he didn't lose. Because even in death, his words left a scar on the heavens that could never be healed. He proved that the gods were guilty. And they would spend eternity remembering the mortal who made them scream. The story of the god Butcher is a haunting reminder of the danger of unchecked grief. He wanted to free the universe, but in doing so, he lost his own humanity. But I want to ask you, if you lived in a universe where the gods ignored your pain, would you have the faith to keep praying? Or would you, like the mortal, pick up the black blade and defy the heavens? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If you want to keep exploring the darkest and most powerful lore in the multiverse, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.